I'm here, ready? Okay. Morning, hello. Sorry, we've had a few technical issues this morning, but now we are ready to go. So thank you for bearing with us. We're going to start on our backs this morning. So if you want to come onto your back, and when you get there, have a great big stretch. So interlace your fingers, press your palms towards the wall behind you, lengthen out, reach your 10 toes forward, and stretch your arms overhead. Have a bit of a yawn, have a bit of a shuffle and a wriggle. And then take a great big squeeze of your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, just place a palm on each knee and begin to make a few circles on your spine. So just taking a gentle movement from the right to the left and from the left to the right. And then ease yourself to stillness. Take a great big breath in. And then on your exhalation, lift your nose right up towards your knees. Hug yourself into a tiny, tight little ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hug, hug, hug. Take another big breath in. And then release your breath, release your body, and just let yourself land in a really kind of heavy, almost starfish shape. So kind of like a shavasana, maybe take your arms a little bit wider and your legs a little wider too. And then if you aren't feeling super sleepy still this morning, let your eyes close fully or simply soften your gaze. Let the weight of your body land to the mat and just begin to deepen and lengthen your breath. So nothing complicated about this, just taking deep breaths in through your nose and allowing the fullness of your exhalation to release back out through your nose. So as you inhale, taking that breath from the belly to the rib cage to the chest. And as you exhale, letting that breath release from the chest to the rib cage to the belly. So inhaling in 3 parts, belly, rib cage, chest. And exhaling in 3 parts, chest, rib cage, and belly. So with every breath in, can you feel that space? Can you feel that expansion being created in your body? As you take that breath all the way to the chest, can you take an extra sip of the in-breath at the top? Can you take that breath all the way to the collarbones, all the way to the very base of your neck? And then as you exhale, can you fully release that out-breath? As if you have no more exhale left to give and you're ready to begin again and again and again. So inhale, drink that breath all the way to the very top, to your collarbones, the base of your neck, and exhale fully. So finding a 4-part breath if you can. Belly, rib cage, chest, all the way to the collars, and then collars, chest, rib cage, and belly. And it begins again and again and again. The inhales meeting the exhales, and the exhales meeting the inhales. So seeing if you can find a little bit more space and expansion this morning. So notice how the breath serves you to bring about that openness, bring about that space, not only in your physical body, but hopefully in your mind. You know, our practice isn't just one of the physical. So drinking that breath in and allowing that breath to fully release out. And just another few moments here, just settling. And then still with your eyes closed or your gaze simply soft, with your next breath in, re-interlace your fingers, bring your legs together, press those palms behind you, reach those toes forward, stretch, 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 reach, reach, reach. Big breath in, and then take that great big squeeze of the knees to the chest. Begin to let your eyes open now as you hug yourself into a tight little ball, maybe taking a gentle little rock from side to side. And then from here, keeping your right knee hugging in, extend and lengthen your left leg all the way to the floor. If you can, find activation through that left leg. So curl the 5 toes towards your face. Squeeze this right knee in pretty tightly and begin to make some circles with your right ankle. Round and round and round in one direction, and then round and round and round in the opposite direction. You might hear a few little clicks and pops and cracks. That's totally normal. And then from here, taking the hands to an interlace at the back of your thigh. Inhale, extend and reach that leg all the way to the ceiling. So for many of us, this time in the morning, this stretch is going to feel pretty intense. You can make it more passive by bending the knee. You might need to, so take that. You might make it a little bit more active by reaching the hands a bit higher. You might even be able to catch hold of the right big toe with your 2 peace fingers, so that's index and middle fingers, hooking the toe. And so find length in that leg. If you have a dressing gown strap or a tie or a belt or anything near you, or you want to go and grab it and you want to loop that around the ball of the foot, feel free to do so you can get a nice opening to the back of the hamstring. So if you can, legs straight, but it doesn't have to be. So again, you might be here, it doesn't really matter. But soften the shoulders, let them drop down away from your ears. We're thinking about creating space and expansion in the body. So take a moment here, and then with your left hand on your left hip, so you're just holding it down so it doesn't pop up. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, begin to take your right leg over to the right-hand side of the room. So, maybe you bend the knee and maybe you catch hold of the outside of the knee. Maybe you've got hold of the shin, doesn't really matter. Maybe you're hooking the toe. But turn your gaze to look towards the left-hand side of the room so you can bring about this openness. So really open in this twist. Keep breathing, keep trying to keep this left hip down. You can probably see this hip wants to pop up, but keep it down. And then again, let's inhale, come all the way through center. Just gonna switch sides. So as we exhale, we're taking that right leg open to the left. Oh yeah, feels good for the spine. Definitely heard a few little cracks and pops there. So now turn your gaze to look towards your right hand if you can. And just bring about this openness. So we're attempting to draw the navel, the belly button up towards the ceiling, softening the shoulders. And this should feel pretty spacious. Hopefully you have the space to do this. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way through center. Take both hands to the back of the leg, and as you exhale, bring that nose towards your knee towards your nose, intensifying that stretch, squeezing the belly muscles. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, release. So let that right leg come down, take a full body stretch, and then left knee squeezes in. So hug that knee in pretty tightly, curl your 5 right toes towards your face, and then circling that left ankle round and round and round in one direction, and then round and round and round in the opposite direction. Come to stillness, hands come behind the leg. Inhale, sending that leg all the way to the ceiling. So feel as if you want to stamp the sole of that foot to the ceiling. Even if you're here, the toes are curling towards your face. Maybe you're coming here. Maybe you're hooking 2 peace fingers of left hand around the left big toe. Right hand comes to the right hip, and you find that openness. I know for me this morning, this feels pretty stretchy. So it should feel like a juicy stretch, but not pain, certainly not pain. So back away from it if it feels too much. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, opening that left leg over to the left, maybe taking your gaze to look towards your right hand. You can extend your right arm out, only if this hip isn't popping up. So if you find this right hip is really lifting, just keep the hand down. You can always use a block or a book or something underneath that right hip if you need to. Otherwise, opening out here, hopefully this should feel pretty good. And then again, let's inhale, come through center. Let's switch sides. And then let's exhale. Take it to the opposite side. You might find that this left shoulder pops up. If you can, just try and relax it down. And then turn your gaze to look towards your left hand. Get really twisty. And then let's inhale, come through center. And as you exhale, taking both hands to the back of the leg, maybe squeezing in a little bit tighter. Big breath in. And then exhale, re-extend. Last time to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Big breath here. And then exhale, squeezing the knees in. Take the hands to the backs of your thighs and begin to rock and roll yourself up and down your spine. So if you can, every time that you rock up, try not to let your feet touch the floor. So squeeze your belly, draw your navel towards your spine as you're rocking up and down, up and down. Hopefully this should feel like a nice release for your back. And then the next time you rock up, meet me in your Ardha Navasana if you can. So shins coming parallel towards the ceiling, 10 toes curling back towards the face, and then find a Kali Mudra with your hands. So it's a pistol grip. The left thumb crosses on top of the right thumb. So reach those index fingers, those pistols of peace forward towards me. And every time you inhale, see if you can sit up a little taller. Oh, this feels like hard work this morning. It's not even 7:30 yet. So keep squeezing your belly. If you need to be here, then be here instead. Feet fully on the floor, tips of toes or heels. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, take your arms over towards the left-hand side of the room. So every time you breathe in, sit up taller, and every time you breathe out, squeeze those knees even closer towards each other, even closer towards the chest. So big breath in, lengthen up. With every exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Big breath in, lengthen up. And then as you exhale, can you straighten those legs a little bit? Can you come into a little bit of a hover and a hold? Twisting, twisting, twisting. Hover, hover, hold. Big breath in. On the exhale, squeeze it all in, all the way in through center. Big breath at the top, squeezing, lengthening. On the exhale, arms to the right-hand side. So every time you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Every time you exhale, twist a little bit more. Probably feeling this in the oblique muscles, so these muscles here. Feeling that in the core, definitely. Those back muscles, those belly muscles, internal pelvic muscles working. Big breath in, lengthen. On the exhale, twist a little bit more. And then lengthen those legs forward towards me. So big breath in, keep twisting, 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 reaching, reaching, reaching. And then big breath in. On the exhale, come all the way through center. Another breath here. Yield. Doesn't that feel good? Let it go. So enjoy that kind of release. And then when you're ready, meet me in a cross-legged, easy seated position. Take a few shrugs and rolls of the shoulders. Just loop those shoulders a few times one direction, a few times the other direction, just whatever movement feels good to you. And then when you're ready, interlace your 10 fingers. Take a big breath in to press. Reach and push those palms to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, sweep to release, hands behind your back. Inhale, open through your chest against space. Expansion, soften on your out breath. Again, big inhale, we rise, we reach, we extend. On the exhale, hands come in front of you and just slide yourself, roll yourself into an all fours tabletop position. As soon as you arrive here, make some circles, make some wiggles, that wildcat movement. Always feels pretty good in the morning. So just move in a way that suits you. And then take those circles, those movements in the other direction. And then when you feel ready, slowly land yourself in stillness, set you up in a neutral all fours tabletop position. So shoulders lining up with the wrists, knees hip distance apart. Spine is in neutral here. We're not kind of like sagging down. We're not dumping down here. With your next breath in, extend and reach your right arm to the ceiling. As you exhale, thread this right arm underneath the left. Bring the right ear down to the floor. Only here for a moment because now we're going to inhale. We're going to rise and shine, reach those arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, rethread that needle. Again, inhale, rise and shine, right arm to the sky. This time we're going to hold it. As you exhale, come all the way down, thread that needle. So right ear, right cheek lands on the floor. If it doesn't meet and you feel a bit awkward, grab a cushion, grab a block and place your right ear onto that block. From here, pop up onto your left fingertips, either stay here, take your left hand to your lower back. Feel like I need to pull my t-shirt down. Take it here or extend that left hand back behind you to hook your right thigh. And then option to stay here. Try and keep your hips really level. You can probably feel already that all your weight wants to come to the right, but try not to let it. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, extend that left leg out and keep rotating that left shoulder to the ceiling. You know, lift your gaze if you want to, but try and relax your head, relax your neck, relax your jaw, and breathe. Most important thing is the breath here. So keep it deep. And then knee comes to the floor, left hand comes to the floor. We're going to inhale again, rise and shine. Exhale, set it back down. Just take a shift. Take a wiggle in between and then set yourself up for the other side. So we're going to inhale, left arm. Exhaling, threading that needle. Again, inhaling, left arm. Exhale, threading that needle. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, we're going to hold it here. So again, option to, just keep the left ear down, keep relaxing, keep rolling the right shoulder open, either staying here, so I'm aware that I don't want to crush the microphone, or take your variation with this right arm, hand at your lower back, hooking the thigh, and then you can always extend that right leg back behind you. But you just want to think about space, so think about space between the shoulder blades, rolling the shoulder back. Knee comes down, palm comes down, and then let's inhale again, reach the arm. Exhale, set the hand down, take a shift, take a little wriggle here, and then walk your hands about 1.5 a handprint forward. Tuck your toes, take a big breath in, And then let's exhale and lift those hips and come into our first down dog of our day, the first of many of this practice this morning. So take a wriggle, take a shuffle, take any movement that you need to, any movement that feels good to your body. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. And then land yourself in some kind of stillness. Let those feet be hip distance apart. Let the palms be shoulder distance. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, bend your knees nice and deeply. Sit your bum towards your heels, shins towards the ceiling. Take another big breath in, and then exhale, re-lengthen those legs, heels towards the floor. Only here for a moment, because now we're going to take the feet as wide as the mat, and then take your hands as wide as the mat. If you need to, grab hold of the edges of the mat, stick your bum way up high in the air, and feel that stretch. So really lengthen out the spine. This tends to take the pressure off the hamstrings, so you can get even more length. Take a little wiggle, take a little wriggle, and then reset the palms, reset the feet. Just a moment here, heels releasing. Big breath in, exhale, walk those feet all the way up towards your hands. When you get there, drape and drop, heavy forward fold. Bend your knees massively, a little, let your head drape. Take a few swings, a few sways, shake it out. And then release those hands down towards the floor. Feet about hip distance apart also. Take your right hand underneath your nose, bend deeply into the right knee. Inhale, shine that left arm high to the ceiling. Lift your gaze. So opening through that shoulder. Take another big breath in here. On the exhale, set the hand down to the floor, comes the opposite side, so left knee bends. And then on the inhale, that right arm lifts high to the ceiling. Big breath at the top. And then exhale, release it all down. Let yourself drape and drop down heavy. And then ground yourself through your feet. Soft bend to the knees, suck that belly in. Inhale, we rise, extended mountain Tadasana. And so as soon as you get here, get stretchy, take that cherry picking movement, or maybe picking oranges today, or maybe you're climbing a great big rope, whatever you want to think about. I'm a very visual person, so these little things help me, but otherwise lengthen, 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 stretch, 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 reach, 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 have a shuffle, have a wriggle, and then meet me with a big breath in at the top. And then let it go, let that breath go, let yourself swing down really, really heavy. We're going to do that again, big breath in. Full breath out, skate through your mouth, big breath in. Drape and drop, big breath in here. And then this time, just let the arms swing down. Heavy, 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 and then make any adjustments to clothing. So pull things down, pull things up, anything you need to, and then come towards the very top end of your mat in your mountain pose Tadasana. So feet together, feet apart. You know, this is the foundational posture of all of our standing poses. So we want to bring that sense of rooting. You know, always say it, we root, we ground, we rise. So try and find that here. Turn your palms to face me, fingers spread. Each and every part of your body is awake, is alive here. So soften through those shoulders, pulling the belly in and up. Deep engagement of your pelvic floor here if you can. Belly stays pulling in and up. Engage that pelvic floor. Let your gaze soften for a moment, or let your eyes close completely, and take a moment to root, to ground, and to rise. Let that breath, the inhale, bring a bit of extra length in your spine and lift in your chest. And with every exhalation, what can you give way to? What can you yield to this morning? An expectation of your day, of yourself, of the practice, of your week ahead. With every breath in, space, expansion, length, we rise. With every full breath out, what can we let go of? What can we yield to? When you're ready, let your eyes open. Bring the palms together, prayer position at your heart. Nestle your thumbs towards your sternum bone and use that to lift your heart a little bit higher. On an inhale, let's reach to rise. Open those arms high to the ceiling. As you exhale, dive it down. Bend your knees massively if you need to. Forward fold, head to knee, belly towards your thighs. As you inhale, send those hands to your shins, higher or lower if you need to. On the exhale, re-dive it down, forward fold. Stretch those hammies. Again, on the inhale, reach to rise. Exhale, reset, palms to prayer. Let's flow now. Big breath in, open heart, open chest. On the exhale, that full dive down, forward fold. Inhale, your halfway lift, hands to shins. On the exhale, palms plant, step back right, then left foot, high plank position. And again, try not to sag down here. If anything, your bum would be slightly lifted to support your lower back, but otherwise you're squeezing, you're engaged, spike through those heels. Take a big breath in here. On the exhale, softly drop the knees to the floor, hug the elbows to the waist, and lower your whole body to the earth. Hands stay either side of your chest. Untuck your toes, squeeze the bum a little bit, engage in the thighs. Inhale, heart lifts, just a little baby cobra. On the exhale, controlled release all the way down. On the inhale, let's lift up again, maybe a little bit higher. On the exhale, controlled release all the way down. Try to keep those feet down if you can as we inhale last time here. And then exhale, coming all the way down. From here, just push the weight to your knees, slide your hands back and come to all fours, tabletop position. From your all fours, cat-cow movement, as you inhale, let your belly drop, heart, tailbone and gaze lifts. As you exhale, take that massive round to your back, chin to chest, navel to spine. Big breath in here, arch that spine, lift your gaze. Exhale, round and release it. Feel free to put your own spin on this movement. Modify it. Take a wiggle, take a shimmy, take a little shift around if you need to. Just whatever feels good. Just a couple more times here. And then when you feel ready, ease yourself to stillness. With your next breath in, extend your right leg back behind you and your left arm forward towards me, possibly towards me. I'm not sure which way you're facing. Curl those 5 right toes towards your face and try and drop that hip. So squeeze the belly in massively. Big breath in here on the exhale. Bring knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Big breath in, we extend, we reach. Full breath out, we squeeze and hug. Big breath in, extend and reach. Full breath out, squeeze and hug. Big breath in, extend and reach. This time, point your toes, see if you can lift the arm, lift the leg, maybe a little bit higher. Option, stay here or bend into the knee. Take the hand back behind you and kick that foot into the hand, hand into the foot. Open through your shoulder. Big breath in. Soften on the exhale. Another full breath in. Let's reach. Exhale, palm down, knee down. Again, take that shift, take that wriggle. Release the wrist, rotation if you need to. One direction, the other direction. Next breath in, left leg behind, right arm in front. Hold it here for a moment. Make sure you're squeezing your bum. So use those glutes, not just to sit on your bum. Use them to support you. Take a big breath in, elbow to knee, exhaling. The inhale brings the length, again, spaciousness. On the exhale, we let it all go. We bring it in. Big breath in, space, life expansion. Full breath out, squeeze and release. Inhales and exhales. Inhales, hold it here, and then point your toes. Can you lift the arm and the leg a little bit more? So you're going to feel that left glute really, really have to squeeze. Big breath in, and then take the hand behind you if you can. Kick that foot into the hand. You might want to take your gaze up to the ceiling, totally up to you. And then again, inhale, reach. Exhale, palm down, knee down. Take a little shift and release in between. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Make any adjustments that you need to in your down dog. Have a wriggle, have a shimmy, have a little sway here. And then root yourself, ground yourself through your hands, through your feet for that energetic lift away. As we use the inhale to extend and reach that right leg to the ceiling, we're going to exhale and bring the knee to the nose, to the sky, to the nose, to the sky, to the nose, to the sky. And this time, set the foot to the space between the hands. Keep the back knee off of the floor. You're in a high lunge. We're only here for a moment. So kick back through the back heel and then sending your left palm to the floor. Inhale, open and extend. Reach that right arm to the ceiling. You're in a twist. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Take another breath here. Exhale, right hand comes down to the floor. Take another inhale as you come to your fingertips. Soften on the exhale. And then next inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly straighten through the front leg. Feel that hamstring stretch. On the exhale, bend into the knee. Let's move between the two. So let's inhale to find the length. Exhale to bend into the knee. Find the length as you inhale. Softening as you exhale. Big breath. Full release. And then meet me here, feel that stretch. Maybe see if you can walk your fingertips a little bit further forward. Feel your spine lengthen. Feel that stretch intensify, but you're still kind of quite high up on the tippy toes of the back foot. That heel is not just landing flat to the floor. So pull the right hip back, left hip forward, big breath in, and then exhale, maybe yield, fold over, increase that stretch. But again, move away from pain. If pain is there, come out of it. And then rebend into the front knee. Drop the back knee, untuck the back toes just for a moment. And then come back into a twist. So reach that right arm to the ceiling. Option to stay here. Option bend into that back leg. Take hold of the foot and squeeze that heel towards your bum. For some of us, we can come down onto our forearm, but keep squeezing your right inner thigh in. So instead of letting your right knee flop out, squeeze it in. Open through the chest. Nice juicy stretch to the quad. Big breath in here. On the exhale, let it go. Hands come down to the floor, stepping it to a plank. Big breath in your plank. Come with me this time. On the exhale, drop the knees, shoulders over the wrist, chest and the chin, bum lifted. Inhale, back bend, high to low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. In your down dog, big breath in, left leg. Exhale to the nose, to the sky, to your nose, to the sky, to your nose, ceiling, and then foot lands. Here we are again in a runner's lunge. So give yourself a moment if you need to. You can heel toe that back foot back and then sit a little bit deeper in the hips and you'll feel this a little more intensely, up to you. So right hand comes down. We're going to inhale, open that left arm to the ceiling. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. If you notice this right knee, like mine always wants to, is flopping out to the right, try and hug it in. So engage your inner thigh muscles, your abductor muscles to squeeze inwards. Big breath here, hand comes down. Take a moment and then inhale, lengthen that leg. Doesn't have to straighten all the way. Exhale, bend. Inhale, find that length. And then exhale, bend it. Deep breaths in. And 4 breaths out. Deep breaths in. 4 breath out. And then meet me on an inhale. You might walk your hands forward, stay up on the fingertips or palms flat, totally up to you. You might want to take a big breath in to just expand a little bit more. And then exhale, just intensifying that stretch. And I know for me this morning, this feels pretty deep. And then rebend into the front knee. Drop that right knee down to the floor. Keeping that right hand down, we're going to come into a twist once again. Maybe bending into that left leg. It's the right leg, sorry. And then catch hold of the foot. So automatically, my left knee just wants to flop because I'm trying to rely on the flexibility of my hips, which is kind of what I don't want to do because the quad stretch feels really deep. So you can press the foot into the hand or you can squeeze the heel towards the bum. Totally up to you. This is going to give more openness to the shoulder and this is going to give a bit more release to the quad. So totally up to you, depends on how you're feeling. And again, you might come down onto your forearm, but that might seem way too intense. So if it does, back out of it. It's your practice. And then let the foot land to the floor. Both hands coming down here, tuck the back toes. Step it back, plank, big breath in. On the exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or shoulders over the wrist. Hug your elbows towards your waist. And then inhale to your back bend, maybe it's an up dog. And then exhale to your downward facing dog. Take a moment here, take a breath in. And then on your exhalation, stepping one foot, the other foot forward, fold. Soften, release. Inhale, rising high to the sky. Exhale, reset, palms to prayer position at your heart. Big breath in, we rise. 4 breath out, dive it down. Halfway lift, inhale. Palms down, left foot, right foot, high plank. Hold it for a moment, big breath in here. On the exhale, your choice, maybe it's knees, chest and chin. Maybe it's chaturanga. Inhale to the sky, to your downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale, right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, right knee as high up on the right tricep as you can, armpit maybe, to the sky, inhale. To the elbow, to the armpit, to the tricep, exhale, to the sky, to the arm, to the sky. And then softly, light as a feather, step that foot to the space between the hands. We're going to open into that twist again. Left hand down, right arm lifts, inhaling. Exhaling, hand comes down to the floor. I'm going to take an inhale to straighten through the front leg. And then an exhale to bend into the knee. Take your right hand to the big toe side of your right foot and begin to walk your hands towards the middle of your mat. Turn all of 10 toes to face the same direction. So feet in a parallel position. Come way up high to your fingertips as you take a big breath in to lengthen your spine. And almost like a wave, just drape and drop, heavy, heavy, heavy. So again, inhale to the fingertips. Exhale, we're draping, dropping. Inhale to the fingertips. And then exhale, drape and drop. So you might want to walk your feet back in line with your toes. Not your feet, your hands, your hand feet. You might want to catch hold of your elbows. You might want to just kind of let yourself sway and bob and rock. But squeeze your inner thighs together. Engage your outer hips, your inner thighs. And shift that weight forward towards the balls of your feet. We're only here for a moment, because then from here, I'll mirror you. So take your left hand underneath your nose and inhale, extend and reach that right arm open to the ceiling. Options stay here or take this left hand to the outside of your right ankle or shin and let yourself drape and drop over the leg. So head could be heavy. You might lift your gaze. You might take this hand into a wrap behind you to open through that shoulder. And then again, big breath in. Exhale, drape and drop. This right hand's coming underneath the nose as we inhale. We lift it to the opposite side. Try and keep your hips nice and level if you can. Either stay here. You're going to take this right hand to catch hold of that top foot. Opening up here. Again, you could just let your head be really heavy. You might take a little wrap with your arms. Big breath in. And then exhale, release it down. And then from here, turn your front foot to the front edge of your mat. Hopefully that's your right foot, and come back into your runner's lunge here. Hopefully feeling this in your legs a little bit. Very awake legs. Take a breath in. On the exhale, move through your vinyasa. So take it nice and slow. So if you're coming through your chaturanga, try not to have your shoulders dropping lower than your elbows. Big breath to your back bend. And then full breath to your down dog. As you inhale, left leg to the sky. As you exhale, knee to tricep or elbow. I don't think I can get it to the tricep today. Big breath into the sky. On the exhale, I'm just aiming for the elbow, I think, to the sky, inhaling. To the elbow, tricep, exhaling. To the ceiling as you breathe in. And then step that foot forward. Here we are again. So we're going to find that twist. Right hand comes down, left arm lifts to the ceiling as we inhale. As you exhale, set the hand down to the floor and then straighten through the front leg. And then rebend into the knee. Left hand comes to the big toe side of the left foot. Walk your hands to the middle of the mat. I'm just going to flip because otherwise I won't be facing you and you're just going to have my bum in your face, which you may or may not want. So we're here. So maybe you're facing away from me. So if you do want to turn around, feel free to. It doesn't really matter. Take a moment here, just kind of swing heavy, hang heavy for a moment. And then this time, turn your toes out to a 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock position. So instead of your feet in parallel, they're at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, take a bend into your right knee so your left leg is straight. And then just move between the two. And so I know for me, I feel like I want to kind of slide my feet away from me a bit and just get a little bit more kind of openness, maybe curl the toes towards the face. Now this can be pretty deep. So only move into a place that, feels manageable, it should feel good to your body. It should feel, it should make you feel good, should make you feel awake and alive. So if it feels painful, come out. And then the next time that this right knee is bent, let's hold it here. So some of us might be here. This is perfect. You could grab a block and sit on that. If you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper, if you can, curl these 5 left toes up towards the ceiling and then set the back of the calf on the floor. So, this is pretty deep in our Skandasana. Maybe take the palms to a prayer position at the heart and just soften here for a few moments. These toes are active, pulling towards your face. And then this right hand comes down, maybe inhaling, lifting that arm to the ceiling. Nice deep stretch. Palm comes down to the floor, and let's just shuffle it over to the opposite side. And again, you might need to adjust your position a little bit. Maybe palms come to a prayer position at your heart. Foot is flexed, palm to the floor. Inhale, reaching up high to the ceiling. Take a moment here. Big breath in, hand comes down to the floor, and then just come back to this parallel position with your feet. Just let yourself dangle down for a moment. And then walk your hands towards your left foot, whichever way that means for you. So you're in a runner's lunge on the left side. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, move through your vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin, lower hover hold. Inhale to your back bend. And exhale to your downward facing dog. From your down dog, we're going to use an inhale to lift that right leg to the ceiling. As we exhale, we're coming to a twist. So right knee comes over towards the left elbow. We're pushing it to the sky. And then we're finding our twist to the ceiling. And then take your twist, hold your twist. Either drop the shin to the floor, pivot and spin so the left foot is flat, or see if you can post this right leg through. So you're reaching that top arm to the ceiling. If you want more juice, oh, can I do it today? I'm not sure I can. Hover that right leg. Breathe, 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 breathe. Big breath in, hand comes down. We're re-kicking that right leg to the ceiling. Hold it for a big breath in at the top. And then exhale. Softly step that foot forward to the space between your hands. Take a moment here. Take a big breath in to lengthen. Full breath out to bend it. And then drop your back knee to the floor. Take a moment here and tuck your back toes. We're going to find an inhalation to straighten that front leg. Maybe just push that foot back a little bit. So hamstrings hopefully kind of feeling pretty warm. So if you want to open out a little bit more, then feel free to do so. I'm definitely not going to get all the way down today because I was feeling too much. Went for a run yesterday. So some of you guys might be here. Some of you guys might be down a little bit lower. Maybe you're kind of here and that is perfect, or you've got back toes touch and you're just kind of here and you're sort of working towards your full split, your Hanuman. Doesn't really matter too much. Hanumanasana, just whatever feels good to you. Sometimes a bit of a kind of rock and a sway from side to side, but we want to try and get our hips nice and level. So what usually wants to happen is this wants to happen, but try and find a kind of levelness if you can. Curl the toes towards the face, making fists with the hands and pressing those fists to the floor, and maybe just a little bit of a lift and a pulse can sometimes really help. We're only here for a moment. We're going to take a breath in. And then on the exhalation, if you can, you're just going to roll off onto that left hip, bend into this, onto the right hip, bend into this right knee, and we're setting ourselves up for pigeon. So if this feels really uncomfortable, roll onto your back. That transition doesn't have to be graceful. Mine probably didn't look graceful. Roll onto your back, cross your right ankle just above your left knee and come to your figure of four. You kind of thread the needle. Great way to open the hip. You'd interlace your hands behind your left thigh, flexing these right toes. So totally up to you. Really depends on how you feel. Otherwise, make your way in here. For me, if I have my right shin parallel to the front of the edge of the mat, it just feels too insane. Yeah, intense, insane, too much. So take a moment here. Soften into it. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhalation, maybe you're just going to walk yourself out. Drop your forehead down to the floor or make a pillow with your hands. And then just notice, are you gripping here? Are you holding on to tension? Is your jaw tightening? Is your mind drifting? Are you composing emails already? Or can you just soften? Can you let yourself drop? And then palms pressed down to the floor. If you want an extra stretch for your quad, you're going to bend into that left leg and just pull the heel towards your glute. So just opening out a little bit. And then let that go. We're going to roll back onto the right butt cheek. We're going to pick up this left leg and we're just going to cross that left foot over the right knee. So you're in this position. So I will turn to face you, but I'll mirror you so that so it makes more sense, if you know what I mean. So if this doesn't work, just extend that bottom leg out. So clasp the hands, sitting up nice and tall, as we take a big breath in to reach the arms to the ceiling, and then taking a twist. Just take a big breath in to lengthen out your spine, and a full breath out to soften. So feel like you're wringing out a sponge. If your back hand is dumping down to the floor and you're kind of like this, then come up onto the fingertips. Again, we root, we rise, big breaths in, and then full breaths out. And then from here, maybe I'll shift myself a little bit. We're going to come through center, take the hands back, and just move through our vinyasa. So big breath in, and then full breath out. So with your next inhale, we're going to extend that left leg to the ceiling. In fact, maybe I'll turn so that I'm facing you. We're going to inhale, left leg to the ceiling. Exhale. Twist to the sky, left leg. Left knee, right elbow, twist to the ceiling. Bring it through. Option drop down, option post, option hover. Totally up to you. But lift that right arm to the ceiling. Squeeze your inner thighs. Can you hear the shake in my voice? Can you see the shake in my body? Big breath in. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, foot lands to the space between the hands. Take a moment here. And then inhale, straighten through that front leg. As you exhale, bend into the knee, drop that right knee down to the floor. And then begin to lengthen through that left leg. Maybe you're going to slide that foot out a little bit. Maybe you're going to stay here. Maybe you're going to tuck the back toes and just think about kind of lengthening. Maybe the back knee comes down. Oh, this feels so strong for me this morning. So maybe you're the same too. So I'm definitely not going to get all the way down today, because otherwise my right hip is just going to open massively and I'm going to be in this position, and we want the hips to stay nice and level. So just take a moment here. And again, for me, this is approaching being too much this morning. So if that's the same for you, come out of it. And then just roll off onto your left hip. You're either going to then roll onto your back or just make your way into your back safely, or you're going to come into your pigeon. So totally up to you. So, just give those hips a little bit of a pulse, a little bit of a wriggle. Take a breath in. And then on the exhale, maybe you're just going to walk yourself out. And these left toes are curling towards the mat. So protecting the knee joint. But when you get down, or if you're on your back and you're in your thread the needle and you're releasing, just notice, are you gripping? Are you gripping your jaw? Is your mind drifting? Can you yield? Sometimes we just need that permission to kind of let go. And then hands come to the floor. Maybe you want that extra little kind of like quad stretch. Just kicking the foot away or bringing the toes in. Just whatever works for you. And then let the foot go. And we're coming back into the twist. So your left leg will be the one that's on the floor. And you're either going to extend that left leg out, curl the toes towards the face, or you're going to keep that leg back behind you. But foundation strong. So think of how steady and strong you feel when you're in your mountain pose, that upright standing position. You want to feel that here, that sense of rooting and grounding. Hands interlace. We're going to take a big breath in. And then we're taking our twist. So you might squeeze that top knee in, that right knee in. You might hook the arm, might take a bind, maybe fingertips behind you or palm flat. Think about length, think about space, all this space in the body. And let's inhale, turn through center. As you exhale, can you hop it back to land through your vinyasa? Inhaling to a back bend and then exhaling to a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in your down dog, and then exhale, drop your knees. Send your bottom to your heels, and just take a few moments in a child's pose. So give the hips a little bit of a wiggle and a wriggle from side to side. Let yourself soften. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. Shuffle yourself onto your bottom and just swing your legs out in front of you. So when you get down here, meet me in your dandasana, your staff, your stick. It's one of those postures that doesn't look as though we're doing a lot, but it's actually pretty strong. So you can roll flesh from underneath sit bones if you need to. Set either your palms either side of your hips or come to the fingertips. Elbows point towards the wall behind you rather than coming left to right. Sit up nice and tall, point the toes or flex the feet. If you're like me and you hyperextend, if I fully straighten my legs, my heels are relief coming off the floor. So keep a soft bend, lift the kneecaps, engage those quads, still stretching the hamstrings here. I'm going to take a big breath in to rise and reach. And then on the exhale, instead of dumping down, we're moving forward. So reach those arms, reach. Take another breath when you catch hold of something, the shins, the feet, the mat, and then exhale, yield fully. And, if it feels good to round your back a little bit, then let it round, but otherwise think about length. Take your gaze up a little bit higher to the big toes, the tops of the feet, and just let yourself soften. And then big inhale to reach, to rise. Hands come to the floor. Maybe you're taking it straight into reverse plane or bum down. TikTok knees, whatever works for you, whatever feels good to you. And then we'll meet once again on our bums. Take a moment here to just move yourself kind of into the middle of your mat. Take the hands just to the backs of your thighs. Hover those feet from the floor. Here we are again in Anavasana. Take your hands down and keep the feet on the floor if you need to. And then Kali Mudra, emboldened, pistol grip, pistols of peace, left thumb hooks on top of the right thumb. So squeeze those knees in towards your chest. Keep breathing. Take a big breath in on the exhale. Take your arms over towards the left-hand side of the room. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. We've been here before. On the exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Again, inhale nice and tall. Exhale, twist, hover a little bit deeper. Squeeze. Come all the way through center. Breath in to the right, breath out. Again, sitting up nice and tall. I know my shins want to drop. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist deeper. Hold. Hover. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze it all in. And then let it go. Make yourself into a little ball. And then from here, just roll down onto your back. Make a few circles on your spine. One way and then the other way. And then let your arms flop over your head. And just take your legs up in the air. Maybe point your toes to the ceiling, a little rotation of the ankles in one direction, another direction. And then you might flex your feet, toes towards your face. You feel that stretch to the backs of your legs. And just lengthen out. So just a really gentle inversion here. And then hug both knees in. Keep right knee hugging in as left leg extends down. Right arm flops out. We take a big breath in. Exhale, yield into a twist. Right knee over to the left. Keep softening and dropping that right shoulder down. Maybe turn your gaze to look towards your right hand. And coming through center. Right knee is squeezing in. Left knee is squeezing in. Right leg extends. Big breath in. Find your twist. Maybe turning your gaze to look towards your left hand. So winding our practice down now. This very beautiful morning. And then bring those knees in. Give yourself a great big hug. Lift your nose right up towards your knees. Take a big breath in. Soften on the exhale. Take another big breath in. And then exhale, let it go. So it isn't quite 8 o'clock. If you are in a rush and you don't have time for a shavasana, then please feel free, go about your day. I know we started late, so I do apologize. But if you do have time to take even just 1 minute for rest, then please do. This is where we invite all of the benefits of our practice to absorb and integrate into our bodies, into our minds, into our breath. So important. For me, it's probably the most important Shavasana and probably the hardest. So get comfy, get cozy, make any movements, adjustments that you need to. Take your Shavasana however you wish to, and then let yourself land and let yourself melt. So eyes closing, allowing the weight of your body to release down to the earth, letting go of any conscious breath, any conscious thought, and yielding fully to this Shavasana. And now taking an even deeper breath in through your nose. Sighing the exhalation through an open mouth. So as you inhale, gathering any remaining tensions or tightness, anything that you might be holding on to. And on the exhalation, simply letting that go, giving way, yielding, releasing. So with every breath in, feeling that prana, that energy, new life, strength. And with every exhalation, simply releasing and letting go. And with awareness and acknowledgement of your body, lying here, wherever you are, your bedroom floor, in your lounge. Begin to make a few gentle movements, fingers and toes, wrists and the ankles. You might roll the tongue in your mouth. You might wish to gently rock your head from side to side, perhaps have a great big stretch and a yawn and a shuffle and a bit of a wriggle. And then squeeze your knees deeply in towards your chest and wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself that great big hug, wrap yourself into that tight embrace. As I said before, touch is so important. So give yourself that squeeze, that hug. And then either rolling off onto one side and pushing yourself up to seated, or rock and roll yourself more energetically to an easy and comfortable seated position where we'll end our practice. So meet me eyes closed or simply soft, cross-legged Sukhasana, easy seat. Let the palms come down to the knees for a moment, soften those shoulders. And then flip the palms to face the ceiling in order to receive, once again, all of our benefits, the practice. And then palms come to prayer, Anjali Mudra to your heart, nestling to the heart, the sternum. Big breath in gratitude, heart to thumbs. Full breath out in equal gratitude, forehead to the fingertips, namaste. So thank you guys so much for making the effort to come and practice. I apologise that we started a bit late, but it's technology. What can you do? Technology at kind of 6:45 in the morning. It's very, very, very early. But thank you for joining me. Also, special thank you to, I think, Sean and Jerry. Hopefully you tuned in. Haven't seen you for ages, so I hope you enjoyed the practice. See you guys soon. Take care. Bye.